What's happening, my beautiful people? I am somewhere in Dubai right now. I decided to go out on an electric scooter. While my wife is finishing writing her book, I decided to go on a bit of an adventure. You know, when you're in a hot country, you can do things like that. And I had an experience yesterday that I want to tell you guys about. I just need to stop the Andrew Womack that is playing in my ear right now. I had an experience yesterday that I want to take the next 10, 15 minutes to just tell you guys about, if I'm being completely honest with you. Oh, and by the way, as you can see, the YouTube channel is back. I know we had a good 30 days and I disappeared for a little while, but come on, you gotta give me a break. Come on, you gotta give me a break. But I am back and we're gonna be making some YouTube videos now. So yesterday I had a 24 carat steak. It's the first time ever in my life I've gone to a restaurant and I've ordered the most expensive item on the menu. It was me and my wife celebrating 5 years of being in a relationship. We're 2.5 years married, 5 years being in a relationship. It was 5 years since I asked her to be my girlfriend. She wanted to celebrate it and she spoiled me, and I'm not gonna lie. So we went to this amazing restaurant. Shout out to Doors in Dubai. I saw that thing on the menu, and for the first time in my life, I saw a very expensive thing on the menu and I didn't feel a sense of fear. How many of you guys can relate to me? You've gone to a restaurant, right? And people are spending money. And you're thinking to yourself, maybe that person's ordering a lot more than you are. Oh, I hope we don't have to split the bill here. You know, maybe you're thinking like that because you're thinking, the amount I'm gonna have to pay. Or you're looking for cheaper options on the menu because you know where your budget's at. Or you're going for the water instead of some alternative drinks because you know you're not trying to spend all that money on the drinks right now because you know where your pocket's at. This was the first time in my life I looked at a menu and I made a decision. And I made an expensive decision. Bear in mind, I'm gonna be real, the steak was 900 dirhams. I'll put on the screen what the translation of 900 dirhams into pounds is or into dollars so that you know what it is. I'm assuming it was like coming up to, 200 pounds or something for the steak, not including the sides, by the way. Not including anything, the steak itself, right? I'll put a clipping of the steak so you can see, but this was the first time I picked something on a menu, and I didn't feel any sense of anxiety. And I said to myself, whoa, I've gone leaps and bounds mentally because I've never done this before. In fact, the last time me and my wife went to that same restaurant, we paid the bill, we bought cheaper things, we paid the bill, and we left. We had anxiety, we had sadness, we even had probably a little bit of depression associated with that bill. And so going back to that same restaurant now, like a different man altogether, just like financially in a completely different place, just made me think, boy, I like, whoa, I've changed. And so I want to talk about 3 Ds. I'm going to go with 3 Ds that really are the thing that separated 2 years ago coming to this restaurant and being completely stressed by the thought of the bill versus ordering the most expensive drink and most expensive item on the menu this time and not feeling any way about it. So I'm outside, I'm doing this free, I'm not really scripting this. This is just me doing what I'm doing. So D number 1, I'll say desire. If you guys haven't watched my video about how, I fasted for 40 days, and in that 40 days, God really gave revelation in terms of changing mine and my wife's situation. If you haven't watched that video, I'd 100% recommend going and watching it because that gives an idea of my desire. But I was so frustrated with where I was. I was so frustrated with the situations I was going through. I was so frustrated with having a wife that was looking at me like, where are we going? And I'm saying, I don't know, shorty. I don't know, shorty. I was so tired of it that I got to a point where I had to do something I'd never done to get results that I've never gotten before. And I fasted for 40 days, no food. I literally had smoothies because I felt like I was dying. And so I needed more than water to give my body something, because I literally felt like my bones were eating themselves. And I felt like I was dying. I was in absolute agony towards the end. But regardless, we made it happen. And I just want to say, like, there's so many people who are in terrible situations, I'm going to be real. But that terrible situation has beaten you down to the point that mentally you've accepted this to be your life forever. Mentally, you've said, this is going to be my story and there's nothing I can do about it. These are the cards that God has given me. These are the cards that I've been dealt. And therefore, I have to accept these cards. And maybe you're watching this and you are mentally in a place like that right now. And I need to let you know something. I need to let you know that without desire for change, real desire for change, burning desire for change, you are living a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe that this is the cards that you've been dealt, that this is never going to change. And I promise you this, with that type of mentality, you're going to stay there forever. I think I got to a point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got to a point where I was tired of hearing these preachers talk about this God that transforms lives, and this God who brings wealth, and this God who prospers, and this God who breakthrough, and this God, and not knowing this God and not experiencing this God. I got sick and tired, and I did something. My sick and tiredness led me to action. If your desire for change is not leading you to action and it's leading you to complaints, then you're going to be in that situation forever, my friend. Your desire needs to be leading you to action. If it ain't leading you to action, it's some wrong type of desire. I can assure you of that. So the first D is you need real desire. Well, I needed it. And I'm assuming that every single person needs it. You know, the scripture says that the fervent, heartfelt prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Meaning, fervent, meaning you're doing it. You're really giving energy to it and you're pushing for a while, right? Heartfelt, this is coming deep from inside of you. This is not surface level, just babbling in tongues for whatever. This is engaging your heart, engaging your emotions into this. So a prayer where your emotions are engaged and you are pursuing this thing over a period of time, you are not quitting. The person who can engage their emotions and pursue for a long period of time will have results, will have much results, will see many things happen in their life. Now look at you. That kind of sounded rude, but look at your life. Were you fervent and were you heartfelt about the things that you're praying for? No. I mean, like, look at your life. I had to do the same for me. I have to do the same for me also. Sterling, look at your life. You're praying, God give me more money. Am I fervent and heartfelt about it? Or is this just a little, you know what I mean? Is this just a little thing? Oh, that would be nice. Or no, am I studying to learn more so that my business can grow? Am I like that prayer? What are you doing after that prayer? What are you doing after that prayer? Because I don't want to hear, oh, God gave me the idea for the podcast, but I've just been procrastinating. If you're still procrastinating, this is what I'm saying. The desire is not burning. This is not heartfelt. The desire is not burning to a point where it causes you to change or causes you to do something different. But anyway, we've been talking about this first D for a very long time, and I could probably go on about it forever. So let's move on to the next D, which is discipline. My goodness me. Discipline. The difference between your destiny and your destruction is your discipline. And I believe that with my whole heart. You know, I came up with the thesis. Well, I learned that consistency over time is what produces success. And 2024 was really the year where I solidified that by doing things like reading a Bible in a year, by doing X amount of push-ups every single day, by reading 3 chapters of the Bible every single day. Like, I had certain disciplines I did for pretty much the entire year, and I felt like they changed the course of my life. They made me a more consistent person. They made me more confident. They made me more educated in the word. They made me more powerful and fervent in my prayers. They made me more closely connected to God. So many different things happened because I had discipline in my spiritual life, because I had discipline in my physical life. You know, I felt stronger. I felt better by the fact that I was doing these push-ups, and people started complaining, "Oh, are you going to the gym? Are you working out?" I ain't working out. I'm just I'm just doing some push-ups every now and again. You know what I'm saying? And I used to, I'd feel good about it. Uh, but anyway, the consistency created something. The discipline over time created something. It created a better version of me. Desire launches you. You start with a burst of energy. I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna start that YouTube channel. I'm gonna post every single day for 30 days. And now you're on day 5, and the desire is starting to dwindle. The fire of that desire is starting to go down a little bit, and it's becoming more difficult to accomplish the thing that you said you were going to accomplish. So guess what needs to kick in now to make the system work? Discipline. This is where discipline comes in and takes you from a good launch to a sustainable business, right? This is where it becomes, you see the difference between somebody who has a good idea or a half complete idea and somebody who actually finished it to the end is whether the person is disciplined or not, right? I'm gonna have a successful YouTube channel. You put 5 videos out, you put 10 videos out, but because you don't have discipline, now you're done. Life starts knocking things at you, life starts throwing things at you, and you're done. So the second thing there is the discipline. As soon as you make a decision, distraction appears. So as soon as you made the decision to become healthy, Krispy Kremes was 50% off. And you love those Krispy Kreme donuts, and it was impossible for you to resist that 50%. So you went to the gym. On your first time at the gym, you were walking home, and that Krispy Kreme 50% off got you. And you didn't just buy one, you bought a box of 12. You bought a box of 12 original glazed donuts, and you took them home, and you ate every single one of those 12. You didn't even share any. You didn't even share any. You didn't. Oh no. In fact, you pretended like you bought it for your brother because your brother recently graduated. So you said, "Oh, bro, these donuts, they're for you. They're for your graduation." But really and truly, you ate about 8 of those. He ate 4, right? And then the guilt of that decision said, "Hey, what's the point of me going to the gym tomorrow? What's the point of me going to the gym later on this week? What's the point of me even being consistent in this thing?" And you gave up. You did. Let's be real. You did. And you forgot that as soon as you made a decision, distraction was going to present itself. And that's the time you need to have your guard up the most, to be prepared to punch that distraction away, right? I didn't even really talk about discipline on my end. I've studied social media pretty much every single day for the last 5-6 years. There's something with social media related that I've studied. And now I study AI related social media. So now it's developed even more. But as last year, I had 3 accounts that I managed or co-managed that passed 100K followers, from like 10K, 20K. They exponentially grew. I had 3 different accounts that did that, for example. And that isn't luck, that isn't chance. That came through hours and hours of study. And that's what people pay me thousands of pounds for. I just did a program that generated thousands of pounds where some people came on a 4-week journey with me to learn about social media, right? My financial situation is changing because I had the desire to learn about social media and understand how to go viral. And I spent the hours necessary to be able to do it, not just for me, but to be able to do it for a whole bunch of other people as well. And so we have desire, we have discipline, and the third thing you need, I believe, is direction. Like, imagine you had the wrong thing in your sat nav. Imagine you had the wrong thing in the Waze app, and you're doing all the right things, you're being disciplined, you're doing all this stuff, but you're actually going the wrong way. And so when I say direction, I mean it's so important to have some level of mentorship. Not just watching people online. Connect with somebody or something or someone or somewhere, or a group of people or a network or something, where they're doing the things that you say you want to do, where they're the type of people that you say you want to be, because you'll find out that success leaves clues. You'll find out the secret sauce to their life, as they communicate with you, as they teach you, as they help you, as you connect, you'll find out the secret source to their life. You'll find out the revelation, and through that revelation, it will transform your life. Something I was told many years ago is that there's certain things that are not caught, they're taught, and therefore they only come through the spending time with individuals. They begin to rub off on you. For example, I spent time with somebody who's a Christian multimillionaire recently. Amazing, amazing couple. They're doing amazing things. And they just said a few things. He was talking about buying a Lamborghini Urus. And he was talking about how he had to get it now, even though he didn't feel prepared for the Urus now. He got it now because it would create a desire inside of him to work even harder. And he made even more money because of that desire. We were talking about desire earlier. He made even more money because of that desire. And that desire led him to his business to grow even further. So the Lamborghini created desire and drew his business further. So I've been thinking about this concept, and it's been causing me to spend, maybe even that's why I bought the steak. Who knows? Maybe it was for desire. I don't know. But it's been causing me to do things that are going to spark my desire in a new way, into a new capacity. Why? Because that desire starts to cycle. It's going to help me to create new discipline. That new discipline is going to help me find new mentorship or pursue new mentorship or find new knowledge, which is going to take me to a whole new different direction. So you need direction. You need mentorship. And by the way, I didn't make this video for this, but myself and my wife have just launched a community called the Overflow Network. And so if you are a Christian entrepreneur who is looking to have a successful Christian business and wants to be part of a community of people doing the exact same thing, you want trainings from myself, my wife, and other Christian experts in their various fields who will help you to understand money, who will help you to understand spiritual things like how to interpret dreams, how to hear the voice of God for your business, how to hear the voice of God for your personal life, how to build relationships, how to build a team, how to scale your business, how to market your business, how to know the difference between who should be, who should be part-time and who should be full-time, how to know when to leave your job, all these questions about entrepreneurship, what skill sets to develop, how to understand sales, how to do, how to get to a new level in sales and all these things. If you want to be a part of a community that's teaching all of that in a biblical way by Bible-believing Christians, then look, listen. Join the Overflow Network. I'll leave it in the description. It is $40 a month. So you can't even say it's one of these, super high expensive programs, because it's not. It's $40 a month. And I'd love to see you there. So join us there. Desire, discipline, and get your direction from your mentor. And if you follow those things to the T, if you live those things, if you breathe those things, I promise you'll have incredible success. I'm super grateful to God for where I am in my life right now. I had a gold steak yesterday, guys. Bruh, I don't even know what to say. I was so shocked when I looked at the bill and I was like, is this all the bill was? You mean I had this much anxiety for a bill like this? And if you want to know what the bill was, you gotta watch my wife's YouTube video. But super grateful to God for taking us from where we were to where we are now. And now we're in Dubai. I'm super excited for where God's taking us, because I feel like in the 2 weeks we've been here, our minds have already scaled to new heights. And when your mind scales, Andrew Womack, I've been listening to Andrew Womack talking about you have to see it first before you can have it. He's got an amazing series on the imagination, which I've been listening to a lot. And so now that my mind's scaled, my business can scale, because I've scaled as a leader, I've scaled as a CEO, I've scaled as an entrepreneur. And so I'm really excited for this next season. Going to try and do a lot more vlogs on my wife's channel and keep my stuff to like this type of talking stuff, because this is what I like to give out to the world. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Very impromptu. But those are the 3 Ds. And my prayer is that you develop into the prosperous, successful person that I know God wants you to be. My prayer is that you find the things that are holding you back, and that they will no longer hold you back in the name of Jesus. My prayer is that you will feel the level of gratitude for God's grace and power that I feel right now. I feel so grateful that He's done this for me. Yesterday I was in prayer in the morning. I was listening to worship music and I fell on my knees and I cried. before God. And I said, when I felt alone, I just kept saying, when I felt alone, when I felt like I was by myself, you never left me. When I felt abandoned by people, you were always there for me. And I cried and I wept because he took this little boy who was 15 years old, who felt like leaving this planet, if you get what I mean by that. He took that boy and he's brought him all the way across the world to another country, and he's using him to impact the lives of people all across the world. And he's blessed him with an amazing wife. He's blessed him with a great life, with the ability to help and to impact people. He's blessed him. That young 15-year-old Sterling, it is now 15 years later. I'm now, well, wow, I'm not 30 yet. Goodness me, I'm 30 in a few months. Let's not jump the gun now, okay? Got to enjoy my 20s while I can. But it's basically 15 years later. Um, I'm approaching more time with God than without Him, like actively serving Him, which is a beautiful thing. And I'm just so grateful to be one of His boys, to be one of His sons, and to be a part of His family. I was by myself. I didn't know how I was going to do anything. And He really fathered me. So I'm super grateful. And I'm excited to see where things continue to go. So the YouTube channel's back. We'll be making more. I don't know what days yet, but it'll be nice. We get 2 videos out per week. That'll be awesome. So that'll be the goal that I'm aiming to stick to for like the foreseeable future. Maybe some impromptus like this, or I may actually go and sit down somewhere and do some stuff. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. We got this called DJI Pocket 3. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. If you're new here, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.